My name is Matt Metzger. I served in the United States Marine Corps for 20 years, from 2000 to 2020. I was a combat engineer, 1371, secondary breach force, breaching the border obstacle in Kuwait into Iraq all the way to the Palestine Hotel, pulled down the famous Saddam statue. We did a lot of explosive work, and not just in training, but in a kinetic environment. The main part of my TBI stems from being kicked in the face and head and stomped on when these 5 Marines tried to murder me at my neighbor's house. So we returned mid to late July from Iraq on Thanksgiving night of the same year. I was at a neighbor's house. We'd been drinking all day and all night. One of the members of this other unit accused me of disappearing with this guy's wife at the same time. Somebody behind me said, "We're gonna bury you in the backyard," and I got knocked out and woke up in the hospital 24 hours later. And then things were not the same for me. There was kind of cognitive deficits there, and my PTSD then was through the roof. I just didn't feel safe anywhere. I waited a long time to ask for help because it wasn't seen as manly, or your leadership could be questioned, your ability. From 2005 until 2020, I was heavily medicated. Right before I retired, I went to an intensive outpatient program through the Navy because I was really concerned about my wellness and my family's safety for when I retired and had nothing but time on my hands to look at all the trauma and deal with all the stuff that I had been kind of socking away for 2 decades. There was a young sailor in my cohort who had trauma very similar to mine, but his was fresh. And here I am, 15 years of therapy, sometimes twice a week therapy, and tons of meds. And he was in so much of a better state than me. Right before I retired, he confided in me that he was using mushrooms to process this trauma and that it was really helping him. When I did retire and return to Washington, I went on the internet, I taught myself to grow mushrooms and started making my own medicine. I dialed in my sweet spot with microdosing. And within 2 months, I felt like I had a general sense of well-being that I just hadn't felt in such a long time. I have such gratitude for the medicine and what it's done for me. And I feel like everyone deserves to feel that. I lived in such a dark place for so long. I think that everyone deserves health, wellness, a zest for life.